Ms. Maxwell, did you at any time play any role in Jeffrey Epstein's activities involving the recruitment, grooming, or trafficking of young women or girls?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Ms. Maxwell, have you ever coerced, directed, or otherwise instructed any young woman or girl to provide sexual favors to Mr. Epstein or any other individual?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Have you ever facilitated the sexual abuse of any minor or adult woman by Mr. Epstein?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
She must remain silent because Ms. Maxwell has a habeas petition currently pending that demonstrates her conviction rests on a fundamentally unfair trial. If this committee and the American public truly want to hear the unfiltered truth about what happened, there is a straightforward path. Ms. Maxwell is prepared to speak fully and honestly if granted clemency by President Trump. Only she can provide a complete account, and some may not like what they hear, but the truth matters.
They're pushing for certain policies that go against the nation that are not even in the interest of their own party, but in the interest of their own selves, politically, financially. I mean, this is not a partisan issue. This is we talk about class, we talk about race, we talk about religion. Those three things matter in this conversation, not party.
Yeah, again, we just see things through a different light.
And I've seen Williams. I've seen Williams videos, and I'm not one to. I really don't agree with anything this man says, but I will say I am on board with this one thing that he's saying. It's not a political thing. It's more of it's both of them. Both parties have partaken in this crime. That's why this shit hasn't been released. And I mean, if you take time and read these files, it's disgusting some of the shit that has happened. I mean, I don't understand how hard it is for people to say, you know what, these group of people, and when I'm holding everybody accountable. I don't care what party you in. If your name is on that file, you gotta go. You gotta go. I don't think it's hard to say that. Like, if it's hard for you to say that and you're riding behind somebody so hard that everybody can go look up in these files and see they've done some pedophile shit, you need to take a look at yourself, because it's no way you riding for a party that hard that you're willing to get in a boat with a pedophile.
No, I would agree. I would 100% agree that this is both sides and everything like that. If we weren't talking about one singular person the entire time, all these names
we're talking about everything else. Like, we're not talking about one person.
That's you guys. That's you guys talking about. That doesn't speak for the rest of it. That's
I would say a good majority of those who are aware and have looked over the file. I would say 30% of the country, 30% of the country. The other 10% don't care, and the other 60% really are just like, well, it's Democrat, Republican. No, we're looking at a class problem. We're looking at a religious problem. We're looking at a racial problem. And it all points to Jews being in power, Jews thinking they're superior than all the other goys below them. And then we're looking at the rich and powerful getting together and doing disgusting things because they think that, if we're going to partake in these disgusting acts, well, what do you have to do to show that you're loyal and you'll do anything that we say? Well, we're going to do the most disgusting things. We're going to do things with babies and kids because they're the most innocent. And that's how they get the dirt on these people. I mean, it's not even like we can't even. There should be no Republican Democrat conversation. That shouldn't even be brought up when we're talking about the Epstein files. That's something that we should not even be having a conversation on. We're looking at a very big problem we're having in Western countries with our politicians, with our big billionaires and people who have a lot of influence and power economically, politically, that have been pushing for shit in our society, in our civilizational state, that have been to our detriment. So it's not a Republican Democrat thing. That is the most surface level. I would say this, the class level thing. I would respect a class conversation first before I respect anything Republican Democrat. That's just like, we're not going to have a conversation on that shit. We have to talk about, if anything, we could talk about the class and who's powerful and the money, but then we have to also talk about the Jewish question. And I think a lot of conservatives are too. Linzo, I love you. I think you're, better than the rest I see around. But I think a lot of the conservatives, I'm just saying broadly, don't want to have this conversation because the Republican Party gives a lot of money to Israel. A lot of these conservatives, especially a lot of these conservative, very Christian, have this Judeo-Christian evangelical mindset that's been killing the Republican Party, that's been killing this country. And even some of the Democrats have this same mindset of, well, I don't want to sit back and say the naughty words about the small hat people. Fuck that. If this been white people, let me tell you this. If this been all white people no Jews. Everyone will be talking about it. If this was all black people and no white people, no Jews, everyone will be talking about it. But the moment we start seeing some hats and some noses and some Shylocks, motherfuckers want to get shy. What the fuck?
Can we talk about? Oh, sorry. I was going to say real quick. I don't think I saw a single black person on any of that Epstein list. I'm going to throw that out there.
They were banned. Well, Jay-Z's on it.
Jay-Z.
Yeah, Chris Rock.
Oh, that's
too.
right. Jay-Z, Chris Rock.
No, there's a lot. There's a lot. But hold on. Mia, I'm going to have you respond to this one. Somebody was talking about jerky. I guess there's some sort of code word. I do have this clip I want to play and it talks about
There are a lot of viral mentions about the 11-year-old, 10-year-old people sending these photos to Jeffrey Epstein. Did you uncover who sent those photos of little children?
I looked directly at the emails that have been widely circulated pertaining to the age 11, and I have it written down on my notes, the permission to kill email, the Snow White, the littlest girl was naughty, etc. And those ones were directly sent by alleged victims.
So the most disturbing and darkest and sickest emails were sent by women to Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, and some of them pertaining to, jerky, whatever that is. Yeah. And
so just quick follow. What is jerky? Like, what is that exactly?
I think that's the question. I don't know if it's like, and again, like going into specifically just based on what this is, I don't know.
It's a code word.
Context
it has to be a code word. Nobody talks about jerky like this.
Weird. Yeah, it's a code word and it's weird, but either which way.
We have beef jerky in the studio, okay? So, like, Klein and I know, I've never spoken to my team or anything. There's no correspondence to me talking about jerky this obsessively. There's hundreds of emails about jerky.
It's a code word, and some of those emails were sent by women and women that to be victims.
So you're saying that these victims are being groomed into
there's
becoming
evidence.
Traffickers themselves.
There's evidence of that. Yes, okay. I'm not saying all of them.
So they're not actually victims. They're not actually victims, or they're.
I think that there are some that are actual victims, but I also think that at a certain point, if you, depending on the severity of what you're doing, I think that there's a gray area. And then,
all right, guys. This is the problem I got with. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Can I be honest with y'all? This is the problem I have with the Epstein files. And Nia, we're the two women on the panel. Are they victims or are they not? Were they being groomed? This is the problem. And actually, I told you guys this. I know someone, and I heard she was giving massages. So I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, which is not far from West Palm Beach. I heard this girl was giving massages. It has to be connected to this because she would go and she lived in North Broward, which was near West Palm. And I gotta say, she was bragging about how she was getting paid to give these old men massages, and it freaked me out. I was in 8th grade when she told us this. She was a little older than us. So I don't know what to think. Were they victims or were they not?
I mean, it's both. And in the eyes of the law, it's both. I mean, you become a perpetrator when you break the law, right? So you can start out as a victim. I mean, let's say you're 14, you're groomed, everything you're doing but from the ages of 14 until you break the law yourself, which would be procuring these girls, bringing them in that situation, being a co-conspirator, if you will. So you are a victim until you break the law. And the law recognizes that because a lot of women end up with Stockholm syndrome, end up with PTSD, and end up in survival mode where they're going to do whatever they can possibly do in order to survive. We see that all the time with serial killer couples. The women start out as the victims. They are the original first victim of the abuse, of the crazy, and then they have to go along in order to survive. And the second they start breaking the law, they become the perpetrator. So in my opinion, a lot of these girls end up being both. They start out as the victim, but once they break the law, they are a perpetrator legally. They're co-conspirators at minimum.
And for those of you guys joining, someone asked what happened today. What happened today was Secretary Lutnick testified today to going to the island. Ghislaine Maxwell refused to testify. She pled the fifth. Enzo, why do you think Ghislaine pled the fifth? Like, what's your thoughts? Is she scared? She's trying to get Trump to give her a pardon, from what I'm hearing. But what do you think?
She doesn't want to incriminate herself on anything that she possibly could be charged with. That's basically it. Because they're probably asking things that are hinted at in the emails that probably weren't used in her trial. Things that she knows. She's not going to self-incriminate herself. I mean, that's what she's doing exactly what her lawyer told her to do. I don't agree with the whole pardon situation. If Trump actually fucking pardons, that's I'm gonna be fucking pissed about that. I'll say that. She should put her ass in fucking jail. I will say that.
Well, there's footage that came out. I'm gonna play this for Andre and King J. Footage came out of her really not being in her cell.
Has just released 10 hours of surveillance footage of Ghislaine Maxwell in prison. And Houston, we got a problem. For one, the timestamp in this video is January 2020. And that's odd because that's more than 2 years before Ghislaine Maxwell was sentenced to prison. Not only that, but this doesn't look like the Ghislaine Maxwell that we know, which is suspicious when you take into account the 4chan message that was released in the most recent Epstein drop that had a prison guard saying, "You guys, I'm shaking right now, but I think they switched him out," referring to Jeffrey Epstein. When you look at the new photo that also was released in the Epstein drop of his body being rolled out of jail, and you compare the profile to when Epstein was alive, there are quite a few differences. No shape, ears, distance between eyebrows and eyes. But would they switch out Ghislaine, and why? Well, it turns out that on Monday, she's supposed to be testifying in front of Congress. And she's one of the last living people that can name names under oath. So is it possible that they want us to get used to seeing this Ghislaine before we see her on Monday? As always, I want to hear what
Andre got us the first super chat of the night. This is from Andre's side. Mr. R. Shooter said, "Just found your channel. I like the message from you. Feel the same way you do. Thank you for watching, R. Shooter." Listen, I don't think me and you talked about this, Andre. I don't think Epstein's still alive. I know you're gonna tell me why you think he's still alive, but I mean, I just don't. I think he was that good to hustle his way out of that prison cell.
I don't think so. I think, there's multiple assets. I think that Ghislaine and Jeffrey they were at the top. They had the biggest operation. But I think there's various smaller operations were going on, connecting certain people, kind of filtering certain high-level people to Jeffrey and Ghislaine. Probably setting up the events or like, hey, I'm friends with such and such, and we're gonna have a party, go over to Jeffrey's, whatever. But no, I think he's dead. I think it's done. Ghislaine is the only one. Yeah, that bitch in the video, I don't like no damn Ghislaine Maxwell. That bitch hairy and big. I thought she was about to say, only in America, like, I thought she was about to hop out the damn camera and shit. Nah, that ain't Ghislaine. But at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. I don't think the bitch gonna talk. She's waiting for a pardon because what that does, it finishes the job. We've already compromised Trump. We've already got him with the dirty shit. He pardons and makes him look bad. It doesn't really matter today. The public opinion has already shifted that Trump is dirty. It doesn't really fucking matter what people say or how they feel. Or even if he didn't do any kids or anything like that. Well, he was connected with this person and guilty by association. That's how it is. I mean, people fucking are going to look at it that way. It's going to be written in the history books as that. And, maybe 50 years we'll get the truth. But as of right now, that's the way it is. And that's what she wants. She wants that pardon so he can be fucked over. And that completes the mission right there, one of the operations. But, I mean, like I said, people focus too much on the Trump shit. I mean, yes, he's the president. But it goes beyond that. It's further than that. But yeah, I don't think Jeffrey's alive. I think that nigga dead. I don't think he over there in Tel Aviv. Fuck he doing over there? Well, I don't know. I mean, he probably is doing the same shit.
His best
but no,
life.
He's dead.
Yeah.
He's gone.
There's like
he hanging out with Prince and Biggie and Tupac. They all hanging out in fucking Israel right now.
There's a pedophile pipeline to Tel Aviv. There's that pedophile pipeline. If you're Jewish American, you can go to Israel free as charge and never ever get deported back here or anything. That's the pedophile pipeline. So many of them leave and go there.
That's true. The biggest one, I mean, the one that a lot of people don't want to talk about is the Dominic Suter, who was in charge of the urban moving systems during 9/11, the dancing Israelis. He left and fled to Israel, and we still haven't got the motherfucker. He's been there ever since. I mean, it's possible. It can happen. But I was surprised to see someone mention 4chan. I'm like, damn. What? We're talking about this openly now? That was forbidden talk. You couldn't talk about 4chan and poll and back in the day, but now you can talk about it. Holy shit. That's what made me crazy. This bitch talking about 4chan. This bitch sounds normal as hell. The fuck she doing on 4chan? But yeah, that's all I gotta say. That's it.
King, is Epstein dead or alive? What you think about it? Is Trump going party Ghislaine?
His ass cooked. I don't think he here no more. I think he dead and gone. He both of them shits. Dead and gone. I don't think he coming back. I think they did. I think when he got locked up, I think his fate was sealed. Ain't no way that man just hung himself with shoestrings. I don't believe that shit. They got rid of him a long time ago, and this is just the making. They getting ready to get rid of her ass next. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't say she done fell out the cell or some shit. I'm not gonna be surprised.
I mean, they're gonna suicide her too. I mean, they do for some reason. That is like everybody just happens to unalive themselves. I mean, I learned this. The man who worked for the government who gave the USB to Julian Assange, and he was able to release it through WikiLeaks. Conveniently, within a matter of days, he also committed suicide. Everybody seems to commit suicide in this country.
It's the Clintons.
Are you talking about Manning?
You better get the praying.
No, I don't think that was his name. I watched an interview with Julian Assange talking about it. He said this guy's name. I'd have to look it up. But yeah, like he was the one that supplied Julian Assange with the information. All of a sudden, next thing you know, this guy's dead. Conveniently, naturally.
That's crazy. Well, Ghislaine refused to talk today, but 10 years ago, she had a deposition.
Can you list for me all the girls that you have met and brought to Jeffrey Epstein's house that were under the age of 18?
Check the Foreman Foundation.
I could only recall my family members that were there, and I could not make a list of anyone else because that list never happened. But I can think of. I'm talking about during the time that you were working for Jeffrey Epstein. Right. Can you list all the girls that you found for Jeffrey Epstein that were under the age of 18 to come work for him in any capacity?
Check the Foreman Foundation.
So I didn't find girls. I didn't look for them. You choose the word.
Well, no, you don't choose the word. If you have a question, ask it.
List all of the girls that you met and brought to Jeffrey Epstein's home for the purposes of employment that were under the age of 18.
Check the Foreman Foundation.
I've already characterized what my job was, which was to find people, adults, professional people, to do the types of jobs that I listed before. Pool person, secretary, house person, chef, pilot, but I'm talking about individuals under the age of 18, not adult persons, individuals under the age of 18. I only looked for people, tried to find people to fill professional jobs in professional situations. Under the age of 18, correct? I think we've established was 17 and is she masseuse. I'm sorry, go ahead. Is she the only individual that you met for purposes of hiring someone for Jeffrey that was under the age of 18?
Check the Foreman Foundation. Mischaracterizes their testimony.
So I didn't hire people. I met people. Use the word hire. Yes, you did. I said met. Yes. So I interviewed people for jobs that were professional people for professional things, and I'm not aware of anyone aside from who clearly was a masseuse aged 17, but that's, at least that's how far we know that I can think of that fulfilled any professional capacity for Jeffrey. List all the people under the age of 18 that you interacted with at any of Jeffrey's properties. I'm not aware of anybody that I interacted
so painful.
with.
She's such a liar, bro.
He was 17.
She probably doesn't even know the amount of people that she has procured. There's no point in asking her.
I have.
We have another super chat. This is Andre. He said, Bob said, I've been meaning to make a donation. Andre, do you have another avenue where YouTube doesn't take half?
You can go to my Patreon. My Patreon is in my link on my YouTube channel. You can go to my Instagram. It's in link in bio. Also my X. So yeah, just check my description. If not, check the About Me section on my page. On any platform I'm on, you'll find it there. Go to my Patreon. That's it. I'm fine with the $20 though. I appreciate you. I'm not doing this shit for money like that. But if you want to, you insist, go ahead. But I do appreciate the 20. Thank you.
Yeah, so
Wow, I
make
didn't
sure
even know
you
I was
guys
giving super
support.
chat. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm
I'm
happy for
like,
you. That's what's
goddamn.
up. We brought you some luck tonight. But check it out. Like I said, I knew the girl that was getting massages, Mia. We talked about that, right? I knew the girl. She was getting massages. She was telling us because she was recruiting bitches at the school. So the reality is, maybe she only hired 5 little girls, and then those 5 found 5 more friends, and then they found 5. And I mean, it sounds. I don't know how. I'm really not trying to be funny, but it is kind of sad. Mia, what's your thoughts? Do you think she knew, or do you think she's lying?
I think it's a little bit of both. Did she know she was recruiting underage girls? Yes. Is she going to keep track of? We're talking thousands of girls through 20 plus years that she's procured for not only Jeffrey Epstein but their entire circle. There's no way she's going to remember all these girls' names. These people, it's a class thing, and these people view these girls as the help. They probably called them thing 1, thing 2, thing 3, blonde hair, brunette over there. Like, they didn't associate names. And the only ones that earned that kind of, I guess, remembrance are Jeffrey's inner circles, who became his girlfriends, and then his associates, which are also named as his co-conspirators. And that's like 4 girls that we know of thus
Mia,
far.
are you offended as a Black woman or a biracial Black woman that there were no Black girls on the island? Do you think that should be offended? Because they literally said not.
Absolutely not. Melanin saved me, bitch. Melanin saved me. For once, the racial profiling came in fucking handy. I can't help but be happy about this. It's like, for once, when people racially profile, it works out into my favor. I am pumped. They're all women of color, all Black American women are pumped too, because we don't want to be associated with that, and we don't want nothing to do with it. It is the one time where you can racially profile us if it's going to save our lives and keep us home and out the streets away from these crazy people that are eating people. Racial profile us all day. I'm sure we'd rather be home anyways.
They know them bitches gonna tell. That's like Black bitches gonna tell.
No, we fight back. We fight back.
Diddy got caught.
You want bitches you ain't tell
You know
me?
what?
I want that bitch. Bitches gonna try to take over the show.
And Andre, you're not wrong, because I went to the Diddy trial, and all the women testifying against Diddy were non-Black women.
Yeah, Black bitches want to cut.
I'm gonna be honest. We would fight. I don't know what anybody, like, I don't know about you guys, but I can picture my cousins, my family, my aunties. I mean, they'd be picking up the shoe and be hit people. Are you serious? You think you're gonna get us out the house and you're gonna fighting? We'd be fighting.
I think the Black bitches gonna want some money. They be like, listen, I want
culture. I think it speaks to the culture of the difference between the two different racial groups. I think because when we talk about it like this, Black families, we are like, I would say, like, there's like this level of like close-eyedness. We not just letting our children go off somewhere. Unlike the other side, you can go with this person that we just met 2 days ago. They, like, my parents, I don't know about everybody else's parents. My parents didn't play that shit. We wasn't even allowed to stay the night at people's houses. And I think that's the general culture.
Where I came from, King, I got to push back on you. I knew girls that was out in the streets. They was outside.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I do agree about the whole, I do think we got a cousin we would talk to, though. I will give you this, King. We have a cousin we would talk to, and that cousin would go tell an uncle, and uncle will go handle Epstein. I will say that. But I don't think, I don't know, the not having kids out your side, I got to push back on that, but I agree. I don't think it would have been quiet, though. It would have been someone speaking.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, little niggas outside right now, doing dumb shit. They may not be going hanging with Brad and Billy and Whitey, but they definitely out there doing gang shit and dumb shit, and that's why we have the problem in the Black community today. So I really have to push back on that. But yeah, Black bitches gonna want money. They're not even gonna tell. They're gonna tell because they're not getting a cut. Black bitch would took Ghislaine spot, said, bitch, I'll do it better. I'll get you 20 bitches up in here right now. Ghislaine, like, I can only get one. She's like, bitch, I get 100, okay? That's what a black bitch would do. So Jeffrey, like, I can't deal with 20. I can't deal with 20 at once. And Ghislaine, like, I'll bring you one at a time. I'll bring you maybe 5. Black bitch would have brought 100 hoes in there, and they all gonna want to cut. No, that's why they said that shit. I feel Jeffrey on that point. That's the only thing I understand why Jeffrey did some shit. I don't want no black bitches in here. They gonna turn this place the fuck up. We ain't gonna own this motherfucker no more.
Oh, King, you can't hear him. King, go out and come back in. Can you hear me? Oh,
I don't know.
I would want to go King's response. Enzo, what do you think? What do you think about Ghislaine testifying? Do you think she really didn't know the number? She was just trying to save her behind.
She's trying to save her behind 100%. The thing about with this whole Epstein thing is I've been following this literally since probably 2008, 2009 when I was a kid, because I lived in Palm Beach County when this all went down. So it was on Palm Beach Post every single day. People finding out that Jeffrey Epstein was this crazy fucking pedophile when he's a Palm Beach socialite, a philanthropist, and literally is well known in the community. So listen, he's a fucking pedophile at the end of the day, but he's the least of the worries. Ghislaine, on the other hand, is the one who is procuring these people. The documentary that you played of the maintenance guy on the island, I watched that entire documentary about one of the women. She was speaking in the documentary about how they were in New York or whatever, and she jumped out of the car when school got out and was taking pictures of the kids and talking to the kids at the school to procure them for Jeffrey Epstein's nefarious everything that they were doing. She's the real mastermind behind this. Yes, Jeffrey Epstein's name is all over because he's dead. He really can't speak about this. We only know what the files tell us and what the non-prosecution agreement and the depositions that we have on him. That's really all we know. But like I said, she's the real mastermind and the real evil person behind this, because she's the one who did all of this for them. So yes, she's lying her ass off in that deposition. And I'm pretty sure she was found guilty of perjury too in her case, or was something around that. I know she was found guilty of perjury for something. So she's a professional liar at this point that got caught. So anything that she really says, I take with a very, very small grain of salt unless something backs it up.
King, before we do the last clip, what do you think? Is Ghislaine the monster, or is it Jeffrey? Who do you think?
This is the problem that we're having in society now. A monster is a monster. They're both monsters. They're both disgusting. They both participated in this disgusting act. Regardless if it's the person that supplied it and the person that used it, they're both disgusting. They're both monsters. There's no differentiating between the two. You did something fucking disgusting. He did something disgusting. She grabbed the children. He touched the children. They supplied it to multiple different disgusting people. In my eyes, it's all disgusting. There's no difference between who's the big monster and who's not the monster, or who may be a little bit less than a monster. Because when you start doing it like that, you're giving these people some type of grace. There's no grace to be given when you're taking part in these type of acts.
That's true.
No, you're right.
That's true. Yeah.
Before we go to the next clip, this is for you, Andre. Mr. R Shooter said, I don't know what to say, so here y'all go. Keep showing me don't have to be the stereotypes and followers they want us to be.
Thank
Who
you.
would have thought that King and Andre would have seen eye to eye on stuff? What?
Yeah. I just want to say
very little. Very
little. Someone said that she's dreaming of a pardon. That bitch dreaming of a rope in the stool. She dreaming to hang. That's the fuck she's dreaming about. She ain't dreaming.
Yeah, she's not going to get out. She knows way too much to get out.
Yeah,
she knows way too much.
And kicking.
It's no getting out. When they got her locked up, it was no getting out. Like I said, she's gonna fall out the cell one day, and we're not gonna hear about her ever.
Yeah, she's never seen the light of day.
If she gets a pardon, she's gonna be out of jail for 3 fucking days before something happens to her.
Agree.
Guarantee. Right now, if she gets a pardon right now, it's the February 10th. She's gonna be dead in 3 days.
I mean,
the wind blow, that bitch gonna be dead.
She wouldn't get a pardon, and even if Trump decided to pardon her, that would be something that he would do on the very last day that he was in office. The last 15 minutes, that would be like the stroke of his pen. That way he wouldn't have to deal with it. But to be honest, he can't pardon her at this point in time, because if he does, I mean, demolishes the establishment at this point in time, and
Agreed.
he needs the establishment to work, not just for his sake, but he has kids, he has grandkids. I mean, in a few years, his grandkids will start having great grandkids. The man's over 80 years old, so he needs the establishment and the elites to maintain control on the status quo. So he's not going to fuck it up that bad.
Yeah, and somebody said, why did they move her? They moved her so she's in nice conditions, but they ain't gonna pardon her. That's why they moved her, to get her to work with them to what they're trying to do now, but they're not going to pardon her. And this last clip we're going to play, we're going to wrap it up, guys. This is
going to pardon her. They're going to pardon her from life.
Yeah, well, you're right. You're right. That's the only pardon she's going to get.
She's sitting in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it for her. I'm playing. Okay.
Congressman Massey and I went to the Department of Justice to read the unredacted Epstein files. We spent about 2 hours there, and we learned that 70 to 80% of the files are still redacted. In fact, there were 6 wealthy, powerful men that the DOJ hid for no apparent reason. When Congressman Massey and I pointed this out to the Department of Justice, they acknowledged their mistake, and now they have revealed the identity of these 6 powerful men. These men are Salvatore Navora, Zorab Mikoladze, Leopig Leonor, Nicola Caputa, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, CEO of Dubai Ports World, and billionaire businessman Leslie Wexner.
Are we really that surprised, though?
Nope.
And you know who Les Wexner gave money to when they first ran, right?
Yeah.
Enzo, do you know?
To be honest with you, last now.
J.D. Vance. That was one of his first campaign donors.
To be honest with you, I thought he was dead for some reason. To be honest with you, I don't know why.
I was online on TikTok, and everybody was so shocked about the, Muhammad Albion, the Sheikh guy. And they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, what do you think they do in Dubai? Have you ever been on 304 Talk? What do you think those girls are doing over there in Dubai for that Gucci bag on Instagram?
MBS is mentioned. The Saudi Arabia guy, he's mentioned a lot. He supposedly was in some dealing, buying some house from some Russian to bribe to some. It's really confusing. I'd have to do a show on it. But basically, he was being bribed in some way. Epstein was alluded to, and trying to link it to Trump and Russia.
Yeah, because I know exactly what you're talking about, because that's the house that the Russian oligarch bought in Palm Beach. The one, it's not there anymore. The only way that I could describe it is it had like circle skylights and a fucking the in the garage that the circle fucking the car spun on it. It was one of Trump's properties that was like 15 minutes away from Mar-a-Lago that he sold for it. It was at the time, I remember it because we used to go past it all the time on when I was growing up on my boat on the ocean. It was the most expensive house ever put on the market in the world at that time. It was $175 million, and a Russian oligarch bought it and then tore the entire thing down, and the property is still vacant to this day.
Wow. But I remember it was some crazy deal he was saying. Like, it didn't make sense. Like, it was like doesn't make sense, the deal that was made for this house. And that's what they kept talking about, the emails that I saw. But anyways, guys, this was a good show. This is just the beginning. I think we're going to have to do a series on the Epstein stuff until something else is trending. I'm so sorry, team. This is what it is right now. I can't get away. I tried. We're going to start by doing... Ooh. The powers that be turned it off. My bad. We're going to start by doing closing thoughts. This was a good show. Mia, I know you want me to play a clip. I'm going to play it before your closing thoughts. But Enzo, what's your closing thoughts?
So my closing thoughts were this was a good episode. Andre, it was good having you on. We just see things, like I said before, we just see things in a different light. I see this through the red versus blue light, and there's nothing wrong with anybody else seeing these situations the way that they are. This whole Epstein thing, if people actually wanted to tackle human trafficking, we would pay bigger, or we pay more focus on the actual big rings, because when it comes down to this situation with Jeffrey Epstein is the smallest fish in the biggest ocean when it comes down to human trafficking. So it's in my eyes, I've seen it from the beginning. Like I said, I just look at this as procrastination in government because Donald Trump's in office, based off of what I've been seeing and how it's progressing. So hopefully this is just the end of it and we can all go back to our normal lives and actually talk about real issues that are going on in this country instead of somebody who's been dead for fucking nearly 10 years now and some chick who's never going to get out of prison. That's my entire thing with the Jeffrey Epstein case. I am happy that Comer is subpoenaing certain people that are named in these files and getting information from them. So hopefully we keep going with that and put this whole entire thing to fucking rest.
Yeah, that was great. You know, we all can't think alike. So it's good to have everybody represent different sides. This is the closing clip that Mia asked me to play. It's kind of funny.
Named Jeffrey Epstein, I skipped 2 grades, graduated at 16, got into an elite math program at NYU, dropped out, and then at 21 was hired to teach physics at the most exclusive private school in Manhattan without a degree. The headmaster was Donald Barr, OSS veteran, precursor to the CIA, who wrote a novel about elites keeping humans as sex slaves, and who just happens to be the father of William Barr, the attorney general who would oversee the jail where Epstein died 45 years later. Small world. One of those students at the Dalton School where Epstein taught was the daughter of Bear Stearns CEO Alan Greenberg. Epstein told people that relationship got him his Wall Street job. Fired from teaching for poor performance, hired on Wall Street the next day. At Bear Stearns, he rose from junior floor assistant to advising the bank's wealthiest clients, including Edgar Bronfman, president of Seagram's, who would later co-found something called the Mega Group, along with Leslie Wedner and Ronald Lauder, a secret network of billionaire donors coordinating pro-Israel strategy. He joined the Rockefeller University Board, the Trilateral Commission, the Council on Foreign Relations. David Rockefeller personally mentored him. A college dropout from Coney Island, at the table with the man who built the globalist infrastructure. It seems that many were fascinated or impressed by Epstein and his connections, which helped him become even more connected. A defense contractor named Douglas Leeson and Nixon's former Attorney General John Mitchell introduced him to Stephen Hoffenberg, who says Lee's recruited Epstein for British intelligence, and Hoffenberg introduced him to Robert Maxwell. Robert Maxwell, media mogul who sold stolen surveillance software called Promise for the CIA and Mossad, document an intelligence asset whose daughter would move to New York and partner with Epstein. The same year he mysteriously fell off his yacht, 6 heads of Israeli intelligence at his funeral, totally normal for a book publisher. During this same period, Epstein had an Austrian passport with his photo, but a false name and a Saudi address. That's not something you pick up at the post office. That's intelligence tradecraft. One of his clients was Adnan Khashoggi, the middleman, transferring American weapons from Israel to Iran. Iran-Contra, same scandal involving the CIA, same CIA whose precursor employed Donald Barr, same era Bush was running the agency, then the country. And a CIA front airline called Southern Air Transport would later relocate its headquarters to service the brands of Les Werfner, the man who would give Epstein everything. But that's part 2. I'm just curious how a math teacher from Brooklyn ended up with a fake passport, a Rockefeller mentor, a seat at the Trilateral Commission. An intelligence recruitment chain that runs through defense contractors and a former attorney general, and a direct connection to the man who sold spy software for the CIA and Mossad. And I'm curious why, when they finally arrested him, there were 10,000 video seized and sealed, 6 million.
How long is money performance? This is almost done.
Identified as only one charge. The CIA director who visited his town.
Just when you think it's gonna end, it just keeps going.
That's how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Everything is attacking the congressman.
I can't believe this girl wrote this and is singing it.
I'm just curious if those files stay sealed, not to protect one man's secrets, but to protect the system.
Bro, we are millennials, Andre.
That is true. That is true. I'm the only Gen Z here. Damn.
But you know what?
Well, you and King are the same age, I think.
Oh shit.
Hell nah, we ain't the same age. That man look like he 40 years old.
I'm 25, my dude. 25. This
Y'all
is the
are
thing.
the
Men want to
same
look
age.
older. We don't want to look younger. We want to look older. It shows experience and you've been through shit. The more younger you look, the more less serious you are.
Nah, I don't think we the
From what's
same age.
So I'm 25.
Yeah, how
Born
old are you
2000.
again?
25.
Oh, you younger than me. Damn, that's crazy.
King, how old are you again?
I'm 25.
Oh, yeah.
Both of y'all younger than me. Damn.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's something
Oh,
about being a
man.
conservative that aging.
I'm not a conservative.
Oh, Lord.
I'm a nationalist. I'm probably the least conservative person here. I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe not. I don't know. But we're going to go with closing thoughts. King, we've announced you'll be joining our team on the new party. Let everybody know your closing thoughts and what the new party means. Welcome back.
It's been a pleasure. This was a good show. I think I'm gonna say the same thing I said the last time I was up here. Yeah, I'm back, and my main objective for this year is to keep my foot on you hoes' necks. We're focused on doing better and bigger things, and it's a pleasure to be up here at the new party. I think that this platform is gonna create some awareness for everybody. And then my last closing statement. This is just a general statement towards Democrats or Republicans. If anybody that's in your party is on that list and you can't condemn them, regardless if they're a Democrat or a Republican, like I'm a Democrat, I vote Democrat down the ballot. But if any of them are on the ballot, or if any of them are in that file, they need to be locked up. Bill Clinton is the only one that I know for so far. Lock his ass up. If any Democrats are on that file, lock they fucking asses up. Same thing for the Republicans. And if you can't do that, well, that says a lot about you. You might have been on the island too. Who knows? Good show though, y'all.
Island. Thank you, King. And so, what's your closing thoughts?
I get two closing thoughts?
Oh, wait, you already went?
Yeah.
Oh, Mia's turn. My bad. I'm sorry, Mia. Mia, what's your closing thoughts? I'm so sorry. The days are running together. You know that.
My closing thoughts are revolution. Revolution. We need a revolution. We need to destabilize the system and tear it apart brick for brick because everybody who's running it is screwing us all over every single day, all day long. So, revolution.
Man, you know who else says that? I don't want to compare you because I love you. But there's somebody else on our team that talks like, well, they're not really on our team. They're on lunch with the new parties. That's all I'm going to say. And they said, go burn down the White House. I'm going to just, Enzo knew who I'm talking about anyways.
That person will fucking do it too. That's the crazy thing.
I'm not saying burn down the White House, but I'm saying if you just happen to walk up and down the streets and and everything just catches fire, including the Congressional building. I mean,
Shit,
it is what it is.
Mad at that. They turned that motherfucker down though. He turned the White House down. You might as well add some flame on that motherfucker too.
Oh Lord. Okay, Andre, I'm so glad that you came. Andre has been doing big things. So thank you for gracing us and being a visitor of our team. I appreciate everybody on our team. Shout out to Enzo, me, and King. But Andre, what is your closing thoughts?
When we look at the Jeffrey Epstein files, we're seeing a clear problem, Jewish supremacy, a Jewish problem in this country. We have to call it out. I really don't care about the Democrat Republican shit. I think I've said it that like many times here. It's surface level. It's not really something we should even have a conversation on. Like I said, I'm willing to entertain a class conversation before I entertain a Democrat Republican conversation. So we'll see what comes of it. Typically, nothing will. But what is important is that the next generation of Americans, we will bring the hammer down and remove these people from power and dismantle the current institutions and the current people, the current status quo. All that's going to go away within the next 15, maybe 20 years. So we're having a talk about it now. We're pissed off, but I'm optimistic things will change down the road. We'll see what happens. But at least the only thing I saw that was good, at least we know Putin is a good leader. Honestly, he wasn't on the Epstein files. They were trying to corrupt him. So shout out to Putin. Russia's base. We need a Putin-like leader in America. That's what we need. We get this shit cleaned up, all right? But even though they have problems over there as well, but at least it's not like us. At least it's not like how we got it. But that's all I've got to say.
Andre, guess who's coming tomorrow?
Who's that?
The Reverend.
Oh, the fucking fag, the fag conservative.
Stop
I
that.
should come on tomorrow. Homo. Queer bait.
Well, Audrey, if you come to Orlando on our trip, you'll get to meet him. He might be coming. So
Nice.
you should, the hotel, the wife, Orlando.
Now I got to plan it out because
on.
I already I've got a trip to Canada I'm going to around that time.
Oh.
So now I really got to plan it. I got to dodge between, pissing off the wife or, going and logging gay black conservatives and telling them how dumb and bought and paid for by Israel he is.
Don't piss off the wife. That's okay. I get it. Canada's more important.
Right. She'll be here. She gonna.
She can come. She can come.
She don't want to do that. Hell,
you
no,
asked.
Do that.
You
I'm
asked.
not
Okay.
doing that. Yeah,
okay. She. But guys, thank you so much for supporting us. Shout out to Andre Williams. If you guys are watching us for the first time and seeing Andre with us for the first time, please go give him a follow. Andre is doing big things. Whether you agree with him, he's making you think. He's making you think outside the box. And he's also denouncing certain degeneracy. So I actually appreciate Andre's takes on a lot of things. I may not always agree, but I appreciate him. So shout out to the new party team. Shout out to King J. Glad he's joining us. But guys, if you're watching us for the new first time, we do this every Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow night is the Man Cave. So please come back and check us out. We'll also be live streaming again Thursday night. So God bless. Good night. And thank you.
Before we wrap, I want to take a quick moment to talk about how you can support the new party. We are an independent media platform. No corporate backers, no political handlers, just a collection of voices representing all American viewpoints, especially the stories they don't want you talking about.
I'm disgusted with our government, and it doesn't matter which party you're talking about. I'm disgusted.
We are watching an act of genocide. I don't know how else to put it. There are thousands of people getting killed every day.
This is the first time in history that an American cardinal has ever been elevated to pope. It is legitimately make America great again.
Yes.
Like, they're fighting for illegal immigrants, not immigrants. Illegal. Like, and they burning the flag and shit.
Like I always say, it was a great episode. I'm happy with the wins that Donald Trump's.
Like you heard Nora Skeptic say, we're going to keep bringing like different types of content and things that we know people want to see. And like we always say on the new party, always vote.
If you believe Americans can still have civil discourse, even in these polarizing times, we need your help to stay independent and keep growing. You can support us by donating to our GoFundMe page, becoming a channel member, sending a super chat, or grabbing merch from the New Party store. Every donation goes directly toward growing the channel promotion and our upcoming